Hello, hello. Welcome to the Thought World podcast, where today we're going to be talking about dick and balls.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I think that was a good start.
That is a good start.
I don't think we need to cut that out. I think we can just go.
We could just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So eventually we'll have like an opener and like intro music or some shit.
It'll be like dick and balls. I think that'd be perfect. I think we should do it. Yeah.
We should do that.
All right. So I think we already coined our inside joke
intro?
with the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
All right.
So we wanted to start recording what we normally do, which is just spend hours and hours talking about random anime and whatever the bullshit.
Random bullshit.
Yeah. Usually we pace around the island of our kitchen, but we'll just sit still, which
we'll
is
spare
annoying.
them the dizziness.
Yeah.
One
day we're definitely just gonna pace around. And,
we should get like an aerial camera.
That would be sick. Yeah. They make those.
Oh yeah. We get a drone actually.
Or just like one of those like black balls that are cameras that you just don't notice to record people anonymously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of them. We get one of them to like fly the drone.
That's fair. Yeah. We could hire somebody.
Yo.
Just, like a random
like we're just walking around and like a drone's just following us. It would get pretty cool angles.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That would
be pretty sick.
Yeah, you get like my neck.
Yeah.
Hairline, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to say.
The followers could just be like, yeah, nice neck hair today, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, do you want to jump right into it or?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you contributed any topics, but the topic I remembered listing down was like just like the idea of this, just the idea of having a podcast that's mostly about just like nerdy shit like anime. Because I was sort of looking at this from the angle of it's kind of weird how popular just like very long form yet casual media discussion there is.
Yeah.
And it's like sort of more formal media discussion is just kind of like bad.
Yeah.
And there's sort of this appeal of like the video essay or this sort of podcast, which I think is kind of interesting. Where like people don't really want like something. Really, people don't want text. That's a huge part of it.
Nobody wants to read.
No one wants to read.
Well, reading sucks.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit where like well, now they will because I'm going to mention it. But no one would have commented, bro, we on YouTube. Whereas if we comment anything on Instagram, it's like, bro. We on Instagram.
Don't be serious.
Yeah. Whoa.
Why are you seriously discussing?
But then they follow
character
us,
analysis
which is pretty funny.
A character analysis page.
Yeah, but there is a market for it. Like people do want to see that to some extent, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like you just got to do it in a casual way, and people listen. I feel like.
Yeah, I had something I wanted to say, and I can't fucking remember.
No, fuck yeah, you can't.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah. Well, we turned the camera on, so now the discussion's not going to go anywhere, and that's perfect.
Yeah,
but but I think that's the thing. People just want casual videos.
Yeah,
but like you're a connoisseur of video essays.
Yeah, well, I'll just listen to as much stuff as I can because anytime that I finish anything, I'll just Google analysis, then title of the thing, and then read what I can, and I do the same thing on YouTube and just listen to whatever. And this was my point actually. My point was for me the big appeal of either casual discussion about stuff or just hearing other people's thoughts in general is like the Love Exposure video is a good example of it.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's this video on Love Exposure where after I finished the movie I watched it. And the video's not good. It didn't like say anything. It didn't offer anything to me at all. It just happened to mention what the movie's about, which I just somehow didn't catch watching it. Yeah. And then because it mentioned that was something that added to my thoughts and gave me my entire perspective on the movie. It just mentioned something that made me reevaluate my perspective.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of the value in just hearing people talk about topics that you're interested in. Is they'll say something that may be tangentially related to whatever thought rabbit hole you want to go down, and then that'll spur that.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting because do you think that makes for the larger appeal in it being casual because it feels more like a back and forth discourse you'd have with your friends rather than like a structured well read paper on the topic? Where like that isn't as much the case.
Yeah. In that specific point, offering something that's going to bounce off somebody else and lead to different topics of thought for them. Yeah, I think that the casual setting helps because it's more likely to be windy and go into different like nooks and crannies of the topic rather than a structured formal essay or something of the sort, which is going to have a few main points and it's going to just focus on those.
Yeah. Though I do think that's interesting too because it does kind of cover more.
Yeah.
Where it's like instead of having like a small point about something that you're going to expand upon for a long time, you kind of touch on more things. Yeah. And then open up sort of thought like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like something that's more formal, it's like you really want to go in depth on whatever you do so you don't do as much.
Sure.
Or it's really long and then people are like, bro, we on Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, if someone saw a 2-hour video, hopefully this one doesn't end up 2 hours. Then people aren't going to watch it.
No.
But we're talking about cutting this up into sections, so
it'll be 2 hours and it'll be like the significance of Gon's smile in episode 47. So, okay.
Hell yeah. That's how people are. That's how like the discourse around that is.
Yeah.
Especially
let's
with
focus.
Gon.
Yeah. Let's focus specifically on this very minor detail of
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gon, do you have more to add on this, or do you want to move on to the bad takes we saw section of this?
We can move on to some bad takes.
So
go for it.
The reason why you bring up Gon reminded me of this was the bad take I saw wasn't even a bad take.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was just the fact that it was mentioned, like, boggled my mind.
Do you want to explain the bad takes thing?
Oh, yeah, we should. Yeah. So, well, let's be optimistic here. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know us, hello. We are niche internet micro celebrities on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we
spend too much time talking about nerdy media every day.
Yeah. And that's exactly what we do.
We have very specific opinions, and sometimes we're assholes about them.
Yeah. So this is the section of the podcast where we're assholes about it. Because we're on Instagram, so we see bad takes.
Yeah.
Because any take that isn't our takes are bad takes.
Of course, yeah.
So we're going to talk about the worst ones that we see. Yeah. And so now this one isn't a bad take. But the fact that it was said is indicative of a sickness. Of bad takes.
Of a sickness. Yeah. We can see the pandemic.
Yeah. The specter of Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. But anyways, the take I saw was Jing Freaks. It would not be a top 10 Pandora Hearts character. I haven't read Pandora Hearts, and neither of you.
Wait, would not be?
Yeah, would not be. They said he would not be. Yeah, obviously, I'd hope so.
Yeah,
I could think of so many. I could think of so many series where Jing Freaks would not be a top 10 character, and I think that's like so funny.
A series with 10 actual characters.
Yeah, that like had to be said, which meant that people think Jing Freaks is good, which I think is funny.
Oh yeah. He like doesn't exist.
He's in it for 3 episodes.
Yeah. He's like, his functional role is kind of interesting. Like when we talk about like Fata Door 1, I really like the presence of Mel's father in Fata Door 1.
Yeah.
But like he's not in it at all, and he still has a similar role as Jing.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally not in it. He is not a character. He has no sprite. He is not in Fata Door 1.
Yeah.
But he serves a similar role as Jing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jing just doesn't do anything. Jing does less because Jing like Gon's like, I'm gonna find this dude.
Yeah.
And they're similar.
Yeah.
And then goes through development. And then Jing's like, yeah, bro. Life's a long road of twists and turns.
Yeah. You'll find your way.
That's all that happens.
The path will be in front of you. Yeah. He reads off some Facebook quotes. That you're on posts.
Yeah. But that was the thing, like with, and we're talking about this a little bit before, where it's like the point of art fiction is just turn Facebook quotes into something meaningful through development.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do
doesn't have any development.
Yeah, he just
doesn't.
And
most of the things that he's saying aren't really like earned or explored well by Hunter x Hunter.
No, it's not.
Maybe
it's not
some
like
of like the adventure stuff, kind of, but
but it's like he's like, you take the good times with the bad, but then it's like, okay, but Gon is just kind of shitty and like doesn't grow as a person. I don't know. But anyway, did you had some bad takes too?
I had another bad Hunter x Hunter take. One that I see very commonly. I saw one on Twitter where a guy said, everybody who doesn't think Chrollo's a good character or doesn't see the value in Chrollo, it's not different values, they just lack reading comprehension skills.
Yes.
Those
are fun.
Because this character isn't a character and isn't written at all and just has a cool design and empty space for people to project meaning onto.
Oh, yeah.
I lack reading comprehension skills.
You do.
Yeah.
You really do.
There are plenty of characters I like who have
if any of you don't
way
like
more
Crollo,
subtlety to them than Crollo, but
if any of you don't like Crollo out there, you can't read. That's
yeah,
the
well,
literacy test. Do
yeah.
you like Crollo?
Do you like Crollo?
That's what that's what literacy rates are referring to.
That's what's on your SATs.
Yeah, it's how many people like Crollo.
Crollo, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that is indicative of a larger
a larger
viewpoint on things.
Yeah.
That's just like
a big part of the conversation.
Yeah, that sort of goes back to what I was saying with being able to transform a Facebook quote into development.
Yeah.
Because with Crollo's case, it's not a Facebook quote, it's more like a pseudo-intellectual philosopher kind of thing.
Yeah. How much of their character allows you to read old philosophy books and then just attach pretentious sounding concepts onto the character.
No, it's like the character is sort of just like, oh, this like pain of nothingness, but it's like it's not explored. It's not done. It doesn't use storytelling to do anything.
Yeah.
There's no difference between him and just saying like having a lack of identity hurts.
Yeah.
It's like I see him have his pain. It's just not shown in any way that's emotionally resonant or actually said.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an issue.
That's the problem with presentation in general, and I was having a few discussions about this today.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just going to present an idea,
Yeah.
right, you just say, lack of identity, and that is the essence of the character.
Yeah.
And you just show that at face value, but you don't have any sort of arc that's getting into the meat of that and going through it, making you connect with the character, feel the pain of that struggle, and then have reasons for what path of change they go along, and then some sort of conclusion that they reach and why. Then it's pretty useless. You're just presenting an idea. And I remember like first getting into Instagram and whatnot, and especially more in music, there'd just be a lot of presentation of ideas, and I'd give it credit for, oh, this touched on etc. deep topic.
Yeah.
But it loses all of its significance when you haven't experienced that thing in more than a week, and you realize that there was nothing to it really. It just didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything meaningful that's going to stay with you for a long period of time, unless it just happens to be the thing that you want to project onto continuously.
Yeah. I do think it's funny because like we probably would get someone being like, well, probably not, because most people watching this will probably be like people who really like us, as opposed to people who are gonna be like, fuck you guys, I hate you. Yeah. But there would be a good chance that we'd post something like this, and then they'd be like, you don't need an arc to be a valuable contribution to the story. And it's like, no, not necessarily.
Yeah.
You could be functional. The problem is like, he's functional for Kurapika, who doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
So then it's like, yeah, I could understand maybe in the future one day him being a good villain if he, if the story kept going. But it's like, not now.
Yeah. You don't need an arc or like substantive development to be a good character in your role, if your role is to add to a character who's doing that, or add to some sort of agent of the story that's expressing that.
Yeah, he's not doing that, though.
No, he's not doing that because
he's a moron.
Yeah, because he's in York. Because he's in York New, which is fucking mid.
Yeah, so bad. Yeah. You have another take?
No, I was gonna say, but even at that, like with presentation characters, especially when you come into a character or a story or whatever else where you see that same idea or that same conflict, same type of character actually explore that same thing, then you can see the major difference between them. Like Rey is the example that we usually use for Crollo, and Rey actually explores what a lack of identity is.
Yeah, she talks.
Yeah, you see the inside of her mind, what her thoughts are, the pain she's going through, rather than just a vague smile.
No, Mark, the point is he's not smiling in the mirror.
Yeah. Wow.
His true self.
Yeah.
Can't
I
smile.
lack reading comprehension
You do.
skills.
You do. You didn't catch that.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
That's because you're an idiot.
It is. Yeah. That's fine.
You're illiterate.
I guess so.
Yeah.